Hey guys, John here at learningguitarnow.com, and in this lesson it's going to be an excerpt from my Clapton Ray Charles style solo that you learned on the site. We'll go ahead and take a look at the first few licks for free, and if you would like access to the full course, which I teach you the entire solo as well as the rhythm guitar, check out the All Access Pass. When you do join the All Access Pass, you'll get instant access to all the courses on the site with interactive tabs, PDF tabs, backing tracks, community forum, and a whole lot more going on. If you're interested in wanting to take your blues or slide guitar playing to the next level, check out the All Access Pass. Okay, let's go ahead and start the lesson. Okay, now I'm going to break this solo down for you into 12 separate licks. This solo is in the key of E, and lick 1 sounds like this. Okay, so that is lick number 1. We're starting off this 8-bar blues here, and starting with the 1 chord, the E chord, and we're starting this in the B.B. King position. So our root note is right here on the 5th fret of our B string. This is our E note, and I just got that little B.B. King pattern. Clapton loves doing that position all the time, especially in our 8-bar blues. Using the B.B. King position just sounds really good. So for this little lick here, what I'm doing is I'm pre-bending the 7th fret of the B string and pre-bending to that minor 3rd. Before I strike it. Now bring it down, hit 7, 5, 6 on the G string, 5, 7. Classic Clapton move. It's just 2 notes and then a hammer on and pull off. Got. You hear him doing that kind of stuff all the time. So if you're not really good at doing that, make an exercise out of it and practice it every day. Does that all the time. So the first little section, we got this. Back to 6, hitting the root note twice, 5th fret. And then striking that 7th fret here on the B string and just bending it up to that minor 3rd. So it's a really simple, quick lick. The only other thing you want to take note of is that we're not going to come directly in right on the beat. So this is a 12/8 blues. So we're going to rest for the first 3 counts. You got 1, 2, 3. And you're here Clapton doing that kind of stuff all the time. The biggest things you got to get is the pre-bend. So you don't want to pre-bend to the major 3rd, that minor 3rd. You can test yourself by pre-bending it to see if that is the note that you're going to hear 1 half step above. Right in there. It doesn't really have to be exactly, because you're going to hear it for a split second, but pretty much, in the ballpark of that note. Because you're only hearing it for a split second. And then getting that hammer-on pull-off classic Clapton thing. So other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on for lick 1. Just understand over the 1 chord coming in on the 4th count, and we're using the B.B. King position. Okay, so that's it for lick 1. Okay, lick 2 sounds like this. Okay, so that is lick number 2, staying right here in this B.B. King position. And so the chord progression is staying on the 1 chord, but now it's going to the E7 chord. E major, now E7 for the next bar. And I'm coming in right in on the beat, and I'm going to bend that 7th fret to almost that flat 7th sound. So it's almost a 3-step bend. Not quite. You're only going to hear it for a split second as well. So that's our target note. You want to bend just aggressively to that. I'm kind of striking it at a distance, not just going. So, and if you catch the B string underneath it, that's fine. It sounds cool like that. So I'm bending that up almost to the flat seventh interval right here. Almost, not quite. 7/6/5. Walking down the blues scale, because we got the blues scale located right here in the B.B. King position, 7/6/5 on the high E string. Bending 8th fret on the B string, just slightly. Now 5/7 on high E. Roll your third finger down, and we're going to bend up that 7th fret on the B string just slightly. Pull off 7/5 on the B string, 6 on the G string, then strike the root note twice, 5th fret. Now we're going to slide back to our 3rd fret on the B string and then pull off to the open B string. Also going to apply vibrato real quick. So I had. I think it just sounds really cool. Just be aware that that G string could ring out. So you can use your right hand palm to mute that. You hear it. If I don't use my palm, you can hear it. If you hear it start to ring out, clamp down on your palm here. You can mute that G. It's not going to let that B string ring out at all. So pretty sweet lick there. Same B.B. King position. We just added, our blues scale. Be sure to get that vibrato down using all Clapton style vibrato. For more about this type of vibrato, check out my Play Like Clapton course. Okay, so that's it for lick 2. Okay, lick 3 sounds like this. Okay, lick 3, kind of a fast lick. Now we're moved to the A7 chord, the 4 chord, and we're going to come in right on the 2nd count. So you go 1, and then you do this phrase. We're moving up here to the 1st position minor pentatonic scale, key of E. Classic, 1st position minor pentatonic, of course. Key of E, classic key as well. Everyone likes to wear off that 12, 15, 12, 14. It's one of my favorite positions to play in, key of E, right here, our 1st position minor pentatonic. So we're going to start on the 14th fret of the D string. That's our root note E. 12, 14, 12 on the G string. And then we kind of drag those notes. You go 1. And now we're going to hit our 15th fret on the B string. Roll your 3rd finger down. And then slide from 15 to 14. Then pull off to 12. It's kind of an interesting, cool blues maneuver that I like to do all the time. You can hear Stevie Ray Vaughan doing that on Texas Flood, except it'd be in the key of G. Something like that. It's not exactly like what he's doing, but he does that kind of stuff all the time. Lots of blues players do that, where you strike that flat 7th note in the 1st position minor pentatonic scale, roll down to the 15th fret. That's the blues note, flat 5. Now slide backwards to the 14th fret of the G string and release to the 12th fret. Now if you can't do it, once again, make an exercise out of it. That would be an exercise right there. You can do it in all keys. So after we do that phrase, we're going to do 14, 14 on the D and the G. This phrase right here, just walking down, blues scale. So we got this. Bend that 12th fret slightly on the G string. pull off 14 and 12, 14, 12, A and then D, and then go walk down the blues scale, 14, 13, 12, and then slide. Not in the first position minor pentatonic scale. This is our major third. We just always add that in. It's an easy way to blend major and minor. It's just play minor pentatonic scale, add the major third in. That's where our major third is right there. And if you listen to the chord progression, that is where the G7 chord hits. So that's kind of a conflict because you're playing G, G7, but then you got G sharp right on top of it. The thing is that I'm not letting it ring out. I'm just cutting it off immediately. So if I let it ring on top of that G7, it's going to sound weird. Since I'm just cutting it off, it doesn't really matter that much. So really cool lick here. I think the whole phrase could be a great exercise as well. Just blending the first position minor pentatonic, adding the blues scale to it, and then adding that major third. Okay, so that's it for lick 3. Okay, well that does it for this lesson. Like I mentioned previously, if you would like access to the full lesson, as well as the interactive tab and backing track, check out the All Access Pass. Okay, see you next time.